something planned. I have something planned for after the call. So I can totally relate. But you're here because you have questions about cloud computing. And I am also here to answer all your questions. So please use the Slido link as we have said, and we are going to take our questions one after the other. Some people were in our last webinar and, we had so many questions and we're like, you know what, let's do an Ask Me Anything session so that all the questions that were not answered during the webinar and all the questions that you've had previously, we can answer them. So please bring it on. Bring it on and we will take all your questions. We'll take all your questions, okay? Thank you so much. I'll start, as I'm waiting to see all your questions, I'll just start by telling you a bit about Cloudboosta. Most likely, if you're here, it's most likely that, you've been a part of our journey at Cloudboosta, and you've followed us for a number. It's not newbies who would have followed us for a while, and you probably have questions about what we do at Cloudboosta, how we can help you, and all of that. That's what we are going to be answering today. Okay, I can actually see some of your questions now, so I'm just going to start. Oh my God. I really like the honest questions that you guys are asking. So I'm going to answer the questions. And if I answer a question and you feel like the answer is not sufficient enough, please let me know. You can retype the question actually, and then we can answer it. Okay. So someone is saying that I will have to combine a number of questions because 1 hour goes by very quickly. So but just a broad overview, right? I don't want to assume that everyone is on the same page. So my name is Gbemisola, and I'm the founder and the lead instructor at Cloudboosta Academy. And what we do at Cloudboosta Academy is that we take you from wherever you are and we help you to get cloud computing and DevOps skills so that you can get a job in the field. So whether you're a complete newbie, you don't know anything about cloud computing, or you currently have a job in the tech space, right? We help you to transition into cloud computing. And we currently offer 2 courses. We have the Cloudboosta Accelerator course, Cloud DevOps Accelerator course, which is for people who have a tech background. And then we have the comprehensive Cloud DevOps course for people who are from a non-tech background. In any case, whether you're from a non-tech background or from a tech background, we teach you from scratch cloud computing and DevOps skills, and then we prepare you to land your dream job. So that's just an overview of what we do at Cloudboosta and why we're here. So please ask your questions. So someone is saying that, how do I know if I'm cut out for cloud? And there's another question that says, what if I try and fail? Won't I just waste time and money? What if I'm not smart enough to learn cloud? Okay. And then another person is saying that, why should I pay for a course when there is okay, that's a different question entirely. So let me start with the first 2 questions that I just said. How do I know if I'm cut out for cloud? What if I try and fail? Won't I just waste time and money? What if I'm not smart enough to learn cloud? Please, I'm not saying this because I want you to learn cloud. Truthfully, and I like the first question I read, cloud may not necessarily be for everyone, but there's some people that saw Cloudboosta today. They saw the calls, they saw all the things we've been doing, and they've never felt any need to even look at what we're doing at all. The fact that you have even considered it means that you have an inclination towards what we're doing. How do you know if you are cut out for it? As you're getting information about what the field is about, as you're attending webinars by Cloudboosta, it doesn't have to be by Cloudboosta, I can attend other cloud webinars as well. I would encourage you. The first way, you have to sensitize yourself with the field we're talking about. So attend webinars, network with people. As you're attending those webinars, you're networking with people, you're speaking to people that are in the job role. This is how you begin to know. By the time you start hearing things about what they do and everything, and you have an inclination towards, I think this thing sounds exciting, I'm interested. That's how you know, but you have to get the information first. So you have to look at what you're inclined towards. By the time you're hearing information, by the time you're finding out what people are doing, if it sounds exciting to you, then you have an inclination towards this. Perhaps it's something you should consider. However, truthfully, there are times that you also have to think about what your big picture is. For example, if you're trying to stay back in a particular country and they tell you that these are the kind of job opportunities that are available in this field, that is a motivation enough. Or maybe you want to change your field to something high paying and they tell you that in cloud is high paying, which is actually true. These things can motivate you to be in the field for however long until you've satisfied your end goal. If it's maybe to stay back in the country, by the time you get your papers, you can move to another field. I'm just being honest here, right? It can be that maybe you need to meet your financial goals for a period of time. By the time you meet your goals, you can do something that you feel more inclined towards. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? How you know whether you're cut out for cloud or not is for you to get more information about cloud. Speak to people who are currently in cloud roles. Hear what they're saying. Does it sound exciting to you? If it doesn't sound exciting, maybe it's not for you. There are many different things that you can actually do to get you to the kind of financial goals that you want to. But someone like me, I'm very, I like exploring things. I like cracking things that seem difficult, right? And all of that. When I saw that tech could help me achieve all those goals, that's not what I primarily love to do, truthfully, is actually to teach. But I've looked at the trajectory of a teacher and that of a tech professional. And I think the tech professional one looks more exciting to me. So my teaching passion is finding expression somewhere else, which is what I'm doing at Cloudboosta, right? So you have to really think about many things before you make a decision about what you want to do. So I hope I've answered your question. Now, the person that is saying that, what if, I found I'm not smart enough? See, I'm not saying this because I want you to do cloud. You don't necessarily have to do cloud, but I just want you to believe that there is nothing that you cannot figure out. There is nothing that can be too difficult for you to learn. It is impossible. You are human. You need to, if you think about how God has created and God has wired, He has given us a brain. I don't care what your background is. There's a book, and I always refer to this book all the time, that says everything is figure outable. There's nothing you cannot learn. There's a quote that says that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Like I said, I'm a teacher at heart. I used to teach secondary school maths, and every time people tell me that, oh, maths is difficult, maths is hard, I hate maths and all of that, I said, don't worry, let me come and teach you maths. I'm not joking. The number of people that was able to, because I knew that the first stumbling block is you thinking that maths is difficult. Once you can erase that from your mind, right, whether consciously or subconsciously. So what I would do as a math teacher, I would go to class, I would, give them exciting maths quiz. People that didn't used to engage in maths class, but they started engaging. To the extent that, who start telling their parents they have a new math teacher, blah, 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 they start liking maths and improve their performance. I'm just giving you that as an example. So please do not ever say you're not smart enough. All you need is to be interested in that field and to put in the energy that it requires. You need to put in the hours. There's a book, I've forgotten the name of this book now, that really talks about competency. I'll probably remember before I finish the call. It's this yellow book that people talk about a lot when it comes to, he really talks about how you need to, whatever craft you want to learn, all you need to do is to put in hours into that craft. You can figure it out, you can learn it. And as long as you're passionate, you're determined, you will not fail, you will learn it. Okay, so that's that. So someone is saying that, are there payment plans in Cloudboosta? Yes, there are, and scholarships. Yes, scholarships are available as well. Speak to us. I'm planning to jackpot soon. Can Cloud Skills guarantee me a job abroad? What will guarantee you a job abroad is that you actually put in the time to learn the skills, you're good at it, and then you position yourself well for a job. So yes, if you put in everything, what I mean is that if you put in your very best into the role, you learn the skills you do. And all we do at Cloudboosta, we don't just teach you the skills at Cloudboosta, right? We teach you the technical skills, and then we'll also prepare you for the job market. So combination of everything, now with your efforts and putting in the best, you will get a job abroad. People have done it, and then you will as well. So please, that's what I will say concerning that. Why should I pay for a course when there is free cloud content online? What makes Cloudboosta courses worth the investment? I love this question. One of my favorite questions, right? It's a valid question. If you go online, some people will tell you that go from 0 to cloud in 10 hours, and then you can have tons and tons of materials that you can consume online. But what we have noticed is that what makes you succeed or transition effectively into a cloud career is beyond access to the right access to information. One thing that people are struggling with these days, information overload. So even if you find content online, do you know the minimum that you need to learn? Do you know how you need to learn that content? Do you have a structure towards your learning? Do you know the minimum that you need to learn in order to land a job? Because cloud computing is very wide and it's very broad. AWS has 200 services. You cannot learn everything. But there is a minimum you need to learn so that you can land your dream job. Do you have that information? When you get stuck while you're watching a video, because it happened to me when I was trying to transition as well. Sometimes I'll be watching a video online. I'll get stuck. There's no one to speak to. When I get discouraged, I just abandon the course. No form of encouragement. So at Cloudboosta, we give you structure. Right? We give you structure towards your learning. We give you a learning community. We are there with you all the way. We hold your hands. If you get stuck, And someone is chasing you every week to come to class. We mark attendance, we give you assignments, right? Adult learning is difficult because there's a lot of distraction. This is not university days anymore, where all you have to do is to focus on your academics. Right now, you probably have children, you probably even have a job. So you need to find yourself in a system that you will commit to, such that you actually finish well. So that's what I tell people. So we've gone beyond just giving you access to yes, we give you access to what you need, not information overload as you will find online today. And then we help you, we guide you on that journey. You know what you're learning on a week by week basis. We're marking, we're giving you feedback on your progress, right? When you finish with us, we also give you reference for your job. I just completed someone's job reference today. We give you reference in order for them to know that you've interacted with us at Cloudboosta, and we can vouch for you, right? You get a certificate of completion. These are the benefits of actually joining Cloudboosta, what makes us different. And you have access to people that are actually working as cloud DevOps engineers in the industry. So that's what we do at Cloudboosta, and that's what makes us different, okay? So I'm a medical student in final year, thinking to transition into what cloud skills should I learn and what sectors can I get job offers with my MBBS degree? This is good because now you're going to be a unique breed. I mean, we've had a medical doctor enroll for our course a while back. She's always been considering the intersection between health and tech. Right now, we're currently working on a client's project that is medical related, right, at Cloudboosta. So these days, there's intersection between many fields. Having a medical degree and being a tech professional puts you in a different class, right? So even if you're a medical doctor and you find tech needs, you're working with a company, you'll find issues with the medical system, you can always apply your cloud knowledge to create something new, right? You can find yourself abroad. There are lots of things happening within the health and tech space. So there are opportunities. You can start by working on projects. You can start by seeing what other people in the healthcare are doing. There are many healthcare projects. If you even go to AWS website, you will see many things related to healthcare. And because you have an understanding of hospital, patients, and all of that, you can always innovate something new. So yes, you can transition, even though you're a medical student. And most likely you're going to be in the space where you're creating something new or just looking at projects that other people are doing online. There are tons of things. There are many things that could be done in medical record. There's digitization of medical, medical information, centralization. Somebody is in Nigeria, a Nigeria hospital already has their medical record. Why do I need to start afresh when I go, to the UK? I need to start registering again from scratch for them to know what I've done. But I've done so many things in Nigeria already. Sometimes you go on holiday to another country. Can that country actually access, your data from a different country? There's so much to do in the health space. If it's just, detailed tracking of medical progress. I mean, I've spent, because of some of my personal things, which I share online, I've spent so much time in the hospital in the last 2 years. I've spent months and months in the hospital, and I had so many data on how things were progressing. I'm like, can't I digitize all these things? So there's a lot you can do, with your medical knowledge, and then learning cloud computing, okay? So the cloud solutions architect code, not when you become an architect, but on your journey to become a cloud architect, you will have to have an understanding of how to code. It will help you. How much are we paying for this training? And is there any job guarantee? Okay, in terms of payment, we'll talk about that towards the end. It depends on what program you are enrolling for, but don't worry, I'll get you all the details that you need. I want to focus more on DevOps. Do you also take that, or focus is just on cloud? We do both cloud computing and DevOps. And in fact, DevOps even takes a bigger chunk of what we do than cloud. So you can be rest assured that you're in the right place, okay? Why is cloud considered a must-have skill today? That's a very, very good question, right? So cloud computing has to do with infrastructure, right? Cloud computing has to do with infrastructure. It has to do with where you keep data. So I always talk about cloud in the sense that if you use Google Drive, for example, it means that you've used cloud computing. If you've ever logged into Netflix, it means that you've used cloud computing. And what happens is, the whole idea of cloud computing is that instead of you to, have information on your own physical device, you can actually just rent space, and keep things on another person's computer. If you need to do a lot of processing and your laptop cannot handle it, you can go to a global cloud provider, ask them to spin up a computer for you, and then you do all the processing that you want to do on somebody else's computer. Once you finish, you can destroy the computer, and that's done. You don't have to, if you have to buy a physical computer for every of your computing needs, then you're going to have to pay a lot of money, especially if the requirements vary. So with cloud providers, all you need is a pay-as-you-go model. You can access storage, you can access virtual servers, you can access databases, applications, all of these things on a global cloud provider. So it's relevant today because the old system, a company in the old way, a company like Netflix, which is a media streaming company, what they would have to do if they were not using cloud is that they will have to have so many servers to keep their thousands of movies. But now Netflix runs on a cloud provider, Amazon Web Services. So Netflix can focus on their primary business operation, which is to deliver good movies, and all the computer stuff that they need to make that happen is being handled by a global cloud provider. So I've explained it for you as an individual, and imagine if everything you could keep, everything you had to keep, you could only keep it on your laptop. One day your laptop storage will get exceeded. But right now we have Google Drive, we have OneDrive and all of these things that you can store your data on those, cloud systems. And then anytime you need to access your data, you can access it and you just pay for what you use. Some of them are even free, okay? So it's a must-have skill today because organizations are moving in the next 5 years, 95% of organizations' workloads will run on the cloud. So it's a must-have skill today. Data processing is happening on the cloud. AI is using cloud computing and many other cool things. How do cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud differ? Honestly, it's simply a case of who is providing it. It's just like when we say, MacBook, and we say Windows, computer, HP, and all of that. They are all computers, and as long as they have your whatever specification in terms of in terms of the storage, in terms of the capacity and all of that, they'll pretty much do the same thing. But Mac has its own cool way of doing things. Windows has its own different way of doing things. Do you see? So it's the same thing. Once you understand how to operate a computer, you can use a MacBook, you can use a Windows. There will be different adaptability things you may need to adapt to. The UI may be different and all of that. But understanding how to use a computer will work whether you're using a MacBook or whether you're using HP. That's how it is in cloud computing, right? They're all doing the same thing. They all have storage. They all have databases. They all have virtual machines. They just call it different names, okay? So it's just that different companies are providing all these different services. That's what makes the difference. Do cloud roles really pay as much as people say? Of course, they really do. They really do. I've been in this field for over 8 years, so over 7 years. And yes, I can assure you, in the nearest future, which branch of cloud computing do you think AI will take over, and will it be irrelevant for humans to work that branch? There is none, because cloud is the infrastructure behind the scenes. Because right now, even in the world of cloud, we use AI. We use AI to enhance what we're doing in cloud, right? For people that are going to join the next quarter, you will see how artificial intelligence is also very important for the work you're doing as a cloud engineer. So cloud is the infrastructure. It's like where you're going to store the data. That's where you're starting from. So that cannot be replaced by AI. It is your access to that, how you interact with the platform that AI can replace. You can automate several things, but the fundamental concept of cloud computing cannot be replaced by AI. It enhances AI and even makes AI better. So it's a two-edged sword, right? AI can help cloud computing. Cloud computing always helps AI, right? So there are two different fields that will always continue to be relevant. And you can look this up online and speak to people as well. It is true. We've had a detailed webinar about the impact of AI and how cloud will remain relevant. So it is true. Okay. How do I know? Okay, we've talked about that. Yeah, so I'm just looking at your remaining questions. Please bear with me. What specific job titles am I targeting? Cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, software engineer, everything, guys. You're targeting everything. Our own role is to prepare you, even including cloud platform engineer. But you're targeting everything. Our own job at Cloudboosta is actually to prepare you to be able to take on all these roles. So at the end of the day, we always encourage people, you have to work with the opportunities that are available. So our own at Cloudboosta is to give you the knowledge that can help you, because what we've noticed is that our graduates end up in any of those roles, really. So we give you the knowledge that you need to prepare yourself for any of those things. And ultimately, opportunities will decide. I tell people, you don't have to decide, I want to be a site reliability engineer now. No, learn your skills and then look at what is in the job market, because that's reality, guys. If you decide that, I want to be a site reliability engineer and all the jobs you're getting is cloud platform engineer, are you not going to take it, at least to get started? So we encourage people, this is not the time to narrow down. The key thing is know that the foundational knowledge you have right now can get you into any of those roles. So you're targeting everything, right? And then you allow the opportunities that come to drive your decision. And also, by the time you land, that gig after your time with us at Cloudboosta, you can always now use your further experience to decide areas that you want to be in, right? But you have to start from somewhere, and that's the foundation that we give you here, okay? So I hope that helps. Does Cloudboosta provide any career coaching or CV and LinkedIn help? 100% is part of your package, and it's not coming at an extra cost because you need it. Which jobs might AI replace soon and which are in demand? We've talked about that. Can we work remotely with international markets, and how long to land a job? Absolutely, you can work remotely. How long to land a job depends on you. We have people immediately after they finish their training with us, they get their dream job. Some people 3 months after, some people 6 months after. It totally depends on you. Some people come into our training and they're at a point in life where they're super busy. They can't apply themselves fully. And then they take a while to get a job after they start with us. But you work with what you're targeting. What I can tell you is that by the time you start with us in October, with the training that you have, because by November, December, you will have even built portfolio of different things. I talked about this last week. Different projects you can do. We encourage you, don't wait till the end to apply for a job. Some people immediately will finish. You just go ahead, do their certification as we advise them, and then go ahead and then land their dream job. Some people, it may take longer. It totally depends on you, how you apply yourself, right? But I want you to know that it's possible for you to get a job immediately after the training. That's all the information you need. So you now work towards that and making sure that you don't spend too much time. And the truth is, and the good thing rather is that even if for whatever reason you experience delays between when you finish and when you land a job, we also have a program for you. So you're going to be enrolled in what we call our Cloudboosta Alumni DevOps Drive, where you're going to keep working on projects and adding more value to your CV. We also encourage you to be a facilitator with us at Cloudboosta, which is a role where you're helping other students, you're adding it to your CV. It enhances your knowledge, you're building confidence, right? And you go ahead and land your dream job. So I hope that is helpful. And then, how long does it usually take? Okay, we've talked about that. It works whether you have tech experience or no tech experience. It works same way. Kindly recommend the best part of cloud for a business analyst who is looking to upskill, right? I will say that, depending on what you've done as a business analyst, what can I say? You need to know introduction to cloud. You need to know how to store data on the cloud. You need to know how computers on the cloud work, computing on the cloud. You need to know about networking, a bit of networking. Those are some things that will foundationally help you. And I feel like the more you know, you would also find out, okay, where's my curiosity leading me to? So by the time you learn about computing, like, okay, is it only computers that can be learned on the cloud, that can be built on the cloud? There's also another way to actually do your computing on the cloud without building virtual machines, which is what we refer to as serverless. And then other things will begin to spark your interest. But look at those modules that I've said: introduction to cloud computing, understand the different types of cloud computing are available, platform as a service, software as a service, infrastructure as a service. Look at databases on the cloud, look at networking on the cloud, look at storing data on the cloud using Amazon S3. There's a storage called Amazon S3. It will be good for you to also know a bit about deployment on the cloud using maybe AWS code pipeline, all those things. Since you're a business analyst, you've probably worked with developers, the gathering requirements, and all of that. So I think those modules will help to at least get started, okay? And those are the things we offer at Cloudboosta anyway. Some of it, I didn't mention everything, but yeah, some of it. So yeah. So do solutions architect code, we've done that already. So again, I'm just looking at more questions. I really need a mentor that will ease my transition. You are in the right place. Enroll for the training. You have access to all of that, okay? Hi, please, can you explain this cloud stuff and what it entails? I hope I've answered that already because I've explained, but if you feel like it wasn't clear enough, please just re-ask the question. I have plans of leaving the country soon. What is the duration of the cloud training and how much does it cost for those without tech skills? So if you do not have a tech skill, right, your duration is 20 weeks, at least 20 weeks. So the course starts October 18 and it's going to end February next year, right? I hope I'm right. Yeah, February next year. And then for those that, okay, so this person is asking for no tech experience. So if you're interested, we're going to put the numbers in the chat box. Just reach out to any of our program advisors and they'll give you details about, what it entails. But yeah, it's going to start 18th of October and it ends February next year, okay, for people who do not have any tech background. But if you do have a tech background, right, you can leverage that. And for you, your program is about 15 weeks. So it starts in October, 20th of October, and you're going to finish by January next year. So so if you plan to jackpot soon, get enrolled. You have to go with something. You don't just enter another country without anything to offer, right? It's what you know that will help you easily access the job market. So we encourage you to get started, okay? I learned data analysis on YouTube. What steps should I take to get a job? So data analysis is not the area that I'm talking about, but the principles that we teach you at Cloudboosta apply. So if you want to get a data job, sorry, I have to digress for the sake of that person. I don't mind sharing insights that will help you. So you're in data analysis and you want to get a data analyst job, right? I would encourage you to consider a place where you can do some kind of internship, because you need every company wants you to have some experience in that field. So you need to find a place where you can get data skills, and sometimes it can be free. Sometimes it can be a data bootcamp, right? So enroll for something like that. Or maybe you have a friend that wants to start a startup and they need a data analyst. Please go ahead and volunteer. So you need a company in addition to your data skills that can just say, oh yeah, this person has worked with me as a data analyst. So that helps boost your profile. If there are certifications in that field, go ahead and do it, right? But beyond having technical skills, you have to be visible. Make sure your CV is up to date. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date, and keep applying. Do not give up. It's very important. This applies everywhere. Don't give up. It's not the first or second application that they'll say yes to. You may need to apply to 20, 50 companies or even 100. Don't give up, okay? And try and speak to people in that field as well so that they can show you the way, okay? So I hope that helps you. So I'm trying to get a better understanding of cloud engineering. Is it a broad area? And what's the difference between cloud and DevOps, okay? I've talked about cloud already, and I hope the explanation I gave was helpful. In terms of what DevOps is a coinage of two words: development and operations, right? So DevOps is simply a way of delivering software in such a way that it's faster for you to deliver, and also to update when you need to update the software. When there's new changes to the software, it's also easy to deploy. So as a DevOps engineer, you're at the intersection of working with people who actually build software. Those are developers and people who ensure that the software is working fine. And because as a DevOps engineer, in order to do that, you're going to have to learn different tools like GitHub for source code management, because all developers are going to put their code into GitHub. So you as a DevOps engineer will be responsible for helping them set up that GitHub to make sure and define maybe the branching strategy, so that as developers are committing their code into the GitHub, right, which is a place where you keep code, right, there's no conflicts in that. As a DevOps engineer, you can be asked to create a deployment pipeline such that, if an application needs to be, compiled, that's what we call the build. If it needs to be tested, if it needs to be deployed to an environment before it's deployed into production environment, there's just a process that it goes through. So as a DevOps engineer, right, we noticed that this cloud computing and DevOps skills is actually what we found the most in demand as far as the cloud space is concerned. That's why we took the two together. And we noticed that by learning DevOps tools, you expose yourself to other possibilities of what you can do with your cloud computing skills. You can be a cloud platform engineer, for example, where all you're doing is what we call automation of infrastructure. Automate infrastructure as code. By the way, I know I'm saying a lot of technical things. You don't need to understand the details of that. That's why you need a program that can help you learn what all those things are from scratch, right, and get a job. And people have done it. We have people who have studied English, enrolled for our program, and they've landed exciting job opportunities, right? And that could be you. And people who also were developers already, but they didn't want to remain software developers. The field has become so saturated. They wanted to do something else. And we've helped them build their cloud DevOps skills, and they've landed jobs as cloud DevOps engineers. So that's what cloud and DevOps is. How can I get more like an internship? Because I recently passed AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. Well done for even taking that bold step. Congratulations. So for internship opportunities, again, you just have to apply. It's the same thing as trying to get a job, right? Apply, try and work on projects. If you can enroll for a bootcamp, if you feel like you can do it on your own, fine. You can work on projects, right? You have to let people know the skills that you have. So if you're a cloud practitioner, the thing about AWS exams and exams in general, they test your theoretical knowledge, but you need practical skills. That's why you need an internship. So if you can try and build some things with the knowledge that you have, right, put it on LinkedIn, right? Tell people, this is what I do, this is the knowledge I have. I want to work, I'm looking for opportunities as a cloud engineer. Network with people, right? Put your CV together, put your LinkedIn profile together, and keep building the skills that you have. It's easier, I tell you, when you have people holding your hands, but I wouldn't rule out the fact that it can be done alone as well. It's just that it may take longer, you know, you may need too much guidance, okay? So I hope these little tips have helped you. Try and look for some projects that you can work on, right? Add it to the cloud certification that you have. If you can challenge yourself, do the solutions architect one. Talk to cloud engineers, see if you can get on whatever, just network with people on LinkedIn, see if you can work with a startup. And again, if you're looking for an internship, offer yourself for free, right? That's early days. That's not when to say that you're looking for someone to pay. And once you've built your track record and all, you can now move on to greater opportunities. So that's for someone who wants an internship and they've learned the skills already. So I hope that helps. Please keep your questions coming. We're going to take everything. I heard cloud computing is not relevant again. Is this true? It is not true. This is my field, and every now and then we keep helping people to migrate their systems to the cloud. It is relevant, and not just that it's relevant now, it will continue to be relevant 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. Good evening, please. I am a chemical engineer, and I do little of full stack development. What is the way out for me? You're a chemical engineer, and you're a full stack developer already, you've done a little bit, so you have some tech background. I would encourage you to explore our Cloud DevOps Accelerator course. Just reach out to one of our program advisors. They will guide you on what the next steps are for you. But yeah, you can get started and transition into cloud computing. I studied mechanical engineering myself, and look at me, I'm now a tech professional. So please, it is very possible for you to transition. As a cybersecurity student, can you also learn cloud? Yes, you're even boosting your knowledge. I have a friend who is one of our instructors at Cloudboosta. You know, she also started in the cybersecurity phase. When she saw that cloud was becoming a thing, she had to add cloud knowledge to her cybersecurity. And now she's within the cloud cybersecurity space. So it's very beautiful. You can learn cloud as a cloud with your background, and you can get started with our accelerator class. Our Cloudboosta, what's our focus? AWS, Azure, or Google? Are we learning how to use all or just one? Good question. We only learn how to use one at Cloudboosta because we don't want you to get confused with it. So learn AWS. That's what we teach at Cloudboosta. Why AWS? They currently have the biggest market share in the cloud computing space right now. They were the first to enter into this space, and they have more services than any other cloud provider. The beautiful thing is that learning AWS, once you learn AWS and with the way we teach you our Cloudboosta, you can actually apply the knowledge for other cloud platforms as well. So we have people finishing with us. They learn AWS with us at Cloudboosta, and they work on Microsoft Azure on the jobs that they're doing. Everyone in the job market knows this. Even when they're looking for someone that has Microsoft Azure certification, sometimes they're like, not even sometimes, every now and then they're like, okay, if it's AWS you have, that's fine. We know you can apply this knowledge. You know, Shola always shares the experience with us of how he had just Microsoft Azure certification, and that was what he used to get a job with AWS, a different cloud provider. So they are interchangeable. The key thing is for you to have the right foundational understanding, and you can apply it across board. How can I get projects for cloud computing, cloud engineering? You have to sign up for a boot camp. I don't know what else to say. Or every other tip I've said, you have to, or look for people that maybe someone that has a startup that, you know, they can help you. They can give you that kind of exposure that you want, right? But you need people to hold your hands. You need people to hold your hands, and, you know, yeah. Well, here at Cloudboosta to help you do that. Too fast though. Some of us don't even know jack in tech. That's fine. That's fine. Every now and then we'll have people. We have a nurse. We have someone who's studying nursing. She was with us last year. She's working as a cloud DevOps engineer now. So, I mean, how much distinct is your field? So it doesn't matter, right? All we need is, are you interested? Are you motivated enough to get started on this journey? Do you want a higher paying job? Do you want to be able to stay back in the country? If not for cloud computing, I can't even imagine, like, if not for that decision to transition into cloud computing, that has been a big ladder for me in terms of being able to stay back in the UK, being able to get jobs with visa sponsorships, and many other things, right? I've been able to create this platform to help other people. We'll help you because we know the opportunities are there. They are right there, and you can be the next to access it. You don't need to have anything. All I need is for you to make decision now that you're getting started, and we're here to hold your hands. We already have a framework that it works, is repeatable. We keep updating it every now and then. And, you know, yeah, so please speak to any of our program advisors. We're here to help you to make that transition. It can be daunting doing it alone, especially as an adult with other demands, okay? So what's the minimum laptop spec? What minimum laptop spec do we need? Please just reach out to our program advisor. We'll send you exactly what you need, okay? We'll send you exactly what you need. Please just send a message to our program advisors as you get, as you're reaching out to us here. Okay, I think I've covered this question. I'm just trying to see if I have more questions. Please keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. After October classes end in February, when will the next class start? I don't have the full amount now. Okay, so usually we will let you know. Just keep in touch with us. Most likely, we don't wait for one course to start before we start another one. So it's likely that we have another course start in December, but just be in touch with us and we'll give you that information. And if you don't have the full money, do you know you can pay by installments? So please still reach out to us. Let us know, if our installment payment plan, we could help you, ensure we have that flexibility just to ensure that, we're able to help as many people as possible. So please reach out to one of our program advisors and we will, I'm really interested in getting into cloud, but I don't have a laptop. Is it still possible to go into it? I will not lie to you. You need a laptop, please. You have to invest in a laptop. This is not something you can use your phone for. And there's even laptop specification. So please reach out to us to get a laptop specification. Tell somebody that you know. See, people always say that, oh, it's easy for you to say, some of us, we really cannot afford it and all of that. I'm like, if you're interested, I know people who have gone to do masters abroad based on crowdfunding. I have people just by talking about their passion, they found someone that was interested in helping them. Speak to that uncle that you need a laptop to learn a new skill that will make you money. You're going to pay your uncle back by the time you land your dream job. You'll be surprised how much people will be willing to help when you speak up about what is needed. So please don't be afraid to actually dream, even if you feel like you don't have what is required. Even if you don't have what is required, you can dream big. There are people that can help you. There's such a thing as that. People can favor you. It is very possible, in addition to actually being ready. So I hope I've answered your questions. I think those are the questions I can see so far on Slido. If you have any questions, please let me know. Because I've exhausted the questions I can see on Slido, I'm thinking I might as well just, I think I can see some questions in the chat box, even though that's not our primary way of asking questions. I prefer Slido, but let me see if I can quickly take that. Can we actually get a recorded version of this, right? Of course, you have the recorded. We'll send it to the WhatsApp group and via email once we finish. Good evening, please. Okay, we've covered that already. How can I get project? Okay, we've talked about that. How can someone without tech background fit into cloud boosting? Sorry, I found that funny. Well, our name is Cloudboosta, but yeah, fits into cloud boosting. So if you don't have a tech background at all, then you can sign up for our training that is for people that do not have a tech background. Okay, you can sign up for the training for people that do not have a tech background. Do I need a degree in IT? No, you don't need to have any background in tech. You can come without a tech background, and then we can help you. I'm a product designer and a pharmacist. Well done. And I really love this field. Is it possible to incorporate this skill cloud into what you're doing already? Yes, it is very possible. So we have people who come to us, they're like, we don't want to transition. We love what we're doing. Can we incorporate? Yes, you can do that. And then in terms of how do I get started? What is the cost of the program? To get started, guys, reach out to any of our program advisors. We have 2 programs at Cloudboosta for those of you that are just joining. The first one is our comprehensive cloud DevOps course for those that do not have a tech background. You're going to be with us for at least 20 weeks. Can 18-year-old college graduates join? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Every now and then I work with teenagers in the industry doing all sorts of apprenticeship program, people that are way, that 18 teens. The earlier you get started, the better, because right now the job market wants people that have skills. Nobody's going to ask you for your age. They're going to ask you, what can you do? So the comprehensive cloud DevOps course is actually, you're going to be with us for 20 weeks. Your classes are every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. During the week, we give you support, right? You join us on a call. If what we've taught you on Saturday class, you don't understand, or you have an assignment you can't complete on your own, we encourage you to join us for a call on Wednesday. During the week, we're available to help you. We're always there to support you. If you have challenges, you're working on projects during the week, you send us a screenshot of the issues, and then we talk about it over WhatsApp, or you join the Zoom call on Wednesday for those who want to sign up for the comprehensive cloud DevOps course. That's for people who do not have a tech background. So we do that over a period of at least 20 weeks, sometimes 21, sometimes 22, but just plan for a minimum of 20 weeks. By the time you finish with us or on your journey, it's divided into 2 semesters. So first semester, you have a project that you're going to work on. People that are looking for cloud projects, we give you cloud projects to work on, industry standard. And you're going to build, you can't be a cloud engineer alone. So you're going to have a team of people you're working with, you're building cloud projects, and these things are building your portfolio as a cloud engineer. At the end of second semester as well, you work on DevOps project, cloud and DevOps projects. Every class at Cloudboosta, some of you have come for our boot camp. Every single class at Cloudboosta, you're actually working on projects. It's project-based. It's 80% practical with us. We give you materials for you to do your AWS Solutions Architect exam, but our primary focus is practical, because it's that practical knowledge that you need so that you can have projects to put on your CV, and then you can apply for jobs and have things to talk about. Your interviewer will ask you, what kind of cloud projects have you done? You have to have something to say. And that's what we give you at Cloudboosta. You tell them you worked with us at Cloudboosta. These are the projects that you did during your time with us. And people have leveraged this to get jobs. Okay. So for the comprehensive cloud DevOps course, for people that are learning learning cloud DevOps from scratch, and you're going to be with us for at least 20 weeks. For all of this, and in addition, we're going to do job training for you, how to put together your CV, how to put together your LinkedIn profile, how to access job opportunities, mentorship opportunities, and all of that. It is worth over £4,000. But again, we've decided to discount it for you. Some of you have been so committed, attending every webinar, and want something that people can easily access. So for you, for most people, we charge just $2,000. For people that have been part of our community for the longest time, join us for webinars. You guys have heard me say this. You're only going to pay £2,500. So you can reach out to any of our program advisors. They will guide you. We have installment plans available. £2,500 for a 20 weeks program is more value. Imagine, some of you are abroad. You know how much trainings are. I do trainings 4 days. You pay £5,000 and all of that. But for us, we know that this is entry level. People are trying to get better job opportunities. So it's highly discounted for $2,500. And for those of you that are ready to make a commitment right away, we're even going to slash it further for you to just pay £2,300. And for you to qualify for that, just make a payment of £800 within the next 24 hours. So in any case, just reach out to any of our program advisors. The link is in the chat box, and that's for the comprehensive cloud DevOps course for those of you that do not have a tech background. I've seen people offer this kind of trainings and they are charging £7,000, £9,000. We're not going to do that. And you're going to get super rich. Imagine in 20 weeks coming to class every Saturday. You're going to learn 9 to 5 every Saturday, interacting with industry professionals. Imagine how much knowledge you'll have gained, and then working on practical projects to boost your CV. There's just so much for you right within that. So please go ahead, reach out to any of our program advisors for just £2,500. And of course, if you're ready to even take it further, you can get the £2,300 only discount. So reach out to any of our program advisors. Tell them, ask me any, AMA discounts. That's the word. So just send them AMA discounts, and then they would attend to you. They will know that you attended this Ask Me Anything session. So for those that already have a tech background and you want to sign up for the accelerator course, right? Your program with us is 15 weeks, and your classes with us every Saturday are from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, we're going to give you a link to watch the replay of our last webinar where I went into details about the courses, but I'm explaining as well. I don't want to use slides today because it's just meant to be a chat to answer your questions. So for the accelerator course, right, it's valued at over £1,500, but we're going to offer you for just £990. Okay, imagine being with us for 15 weeks, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday, and your investment in that is less than £1,000. It's a really, really good deal for you. So again, installment plans are available either way. So just reach out to us, reach out to any of our program advisors. Okay, and we accept payments in all currencies as well: USD, euros, pounds, naira, reach out to any of our program advisors and they will be able to help you. Okay. So I'm just checking if there are more questions. If you have more questions, please make sure that you bring it on. I think I've covered your question. If you feel like I didn't answer your question, please feel free to re-ask. Please feel free to re-ask. Please feel free to re-ask the question. So I've answered the question about cost of the program. Do you need a degree? No, you don't need a degree. Program, product designer and pharmacist. You really love this field. Yes, you can incorporate it. And I feel like anyone that is going into multidisciplinary, you want to actually do, multidisciplinary and all, right? Most times you may even be at the edge of an innovation, something that we haven't seen before, or you could actually be, building up on projects of people who are also in that multidisciplinary intersect. So it's very possible for you to do it. And again, this is an investment of which by the time you get your cloud job, there are people. So we have a lot of questions coming in. How about people in Nigeria? The cost for those in Nigeria. When last did you come to Nigeria? And all of that. So for people who are in Nigeria, right, you have to look at what you're going to get back in return. The training is standardized. You're going to do exactly the same training that we're offering people in UK, US, Canada. That's why the price is the same across board, right? And we also know that right there in Nigeria, with your cloud computing skills, you can get opportunities abroad that help you to work remotely in Nigeria. And because we have people like that who have gotten jobs with companies, some of them are even companies in Nigeria and they're paying them in US dollars, or companies abroad where they are working on projects back in Nigeria. So it is very possible. You have to take that step in order to expose yourself to this world of possibilities. So so there are opportunities, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in UK, whether you're in US, and all of that. Any program that is offered on a global scale like that, all the instructors are people that are practicing. Instructors are coming in from, from Canada. We have some instructors in Canada. We have some in United States. We have some in the UK. These are the people that are teaching you, explain all this concept. They're telling you, I work as a cloud DevOps manager in PwC UK, so as I'm instructing you, I'm teaching you from my experience, right? What I do, I work on a daily basis, and that's how it is, and that's how we're at the edge of innovation. We keep looking at what's happening in the industry. We keep updating our materials to ensure that you are able to work as a DevOps engineer by the time you finish with us at Cloudboosta, okay? So we're here to help you. Enroll, reach out, AMA discounts, right? 990 for those people who already have a tech background and want to enroll for the 15 weeks accelerator program, and 2,500 for those who are learning from scratch and will be with us for at least 20 weeks. This works, and we have proof. We have testaments of people who have done the training and have excelled. Okay. I think I've answered all the questions. Can I speak with Gbemi one-on-one after the event today? Reach out to one of our program advisors. You will get connected to me. Please go ahead. I'm looking forward to speaking to you. What do you recommend studying while waiting for October or the start date? What is the payment plan? What are the job prospects for someone in Asia? So similar job prospects as well. What do you recommend studying while waiting? Right. So again, you can look up cloud videos online. You can absolutely do that. If you enroll for your program, you can have access to, our intro to cloud course. Sometimes we give people access when there's a timeline, between when you're starting and you feel like you have some free time. We give you access to our intro to cloud course, right? Once you've made an installment payment, that's fine. You get access and then you can start reviewing it even before you start class. Okay, so you can absolutely do that. And payment plan, just reach out to our program advisor. They will send you details of our payment plan, okay? And then what I job prospect for someone in Asia, similar across the globe. You can be a cloud DevOps engineer. You can be a cloud solutions architect, entry level or mid level, depending on how much you've applied yourself and how much of projects you're comfortable working on based on what we've exposed you to, right? You can get a job as site reliability engineer. In fact, Asia is also another hub where you can get jobs abroad if you want to. I've worked all throughout my career. I've always worked with people from India, China, Nigeria, even while in the UK. So you can get jobs abroad. If you want to relocate there, every now and then people go from a place like India, particularly, of course, other Asian places as well, but India particularly, people, relocating. People get, opportunities to actually move their families from Asia to England, to the United Kingdom or to Europe, other places in Europe, or even to America. based on the fact that you've got the skills. So my point is you have to have something to offer, right? You have to have skills that are in demand, that companies will be able to say, yeah, this is a good investment, right? This is someone that we want to invest in because we know that they've learned all of this within this period of time, and giving them more time, they would actually be able to pick up more things. So your journey is upwards. What we're saying is get started. This is not the end. Even when you exhaust our curriculum at Cloudboosta, if you're waiting to get a job, or if you have to wait to get a job, your knowledge is adding up. The thing is that you've gotten started, and you can say from the date of enrollment, that's how long you've been a cloud DevOps engineer for. Very accurate, very valid, because everything you're doing is what we do in the industry. Okay, so we're looking forward to seeing you sign up. Thank you so much for your time. It's exactly 1 hour since we started, and I promise it's going to be a 1 hour session. Reach out to us, send AMA discount, explore, the payment plans that we have, explore the payment plans that we have. We're also going to give you a link to, maybe one of our master classes so that you can see, detailed breakdown of what your framework, what your modules will look like. I've already touched on it. If you just want more structure to it, but I've touched on it already. You're going to learn AWS as your cloud computing platform. On that DevOps, you're going to learn Git and GitHub. You're going to learn Terraform, CloudFormation, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, all these things. You don't need to know them right now. We'll teach you everything from scratch, okay? Thank you so much for your time, guys. I hope I've covered all the questions. I think I've done so. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We'll see you in class next month. See you in October. October is just 3 weeks away. I mean, October 18th is 3 weeks away. So I'm looking forward to seeing most of you in class. I can see your names already. So when I see you in class, I'll be like, oh, you're the Chinaza, you're the Timile, you're the Angel, Ifunaya, and everyone that is on the call. Thank you for your time. Please enjoy the rest of your Friday. And we believe in you. We're here to hold your hands, okay? We know you can do it. And we know that you can move from where you are to where you desire to be. Just by learning one skill, you can completely change your career trajectory and even your income level. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye, everyone.